As a writer, it's incredibly important to make sure you have an author mentor, a person or multiple people, better yet, who are doing the things that you want to do. Somebody who is much higher on the food chain than you, who has successfully done this at least 3 times, at least 3 published successful books. And you need to be watching those people and learning and growing from them so that you can follow the path that they took, avoid the pitfalls that they had to go through, and learn and educate from them so that you can get a leg up on what you are doing. Author mentors are incredibly important, but oftentimes we think that an author mentor means that we have to buddy up to an author and have them looking over our shoulder all the time and giving us one-on-one information. And that simply is not feasible in today's society. The people who are qualified to teach, who are willing to give back to the community, have often tried to pour back into the community and do one-on-one mentorships, but that takes so much time and effort. So most of us opt instead to help the masses. So I have in the past mentored people one-on-one, and it took so much time and so much effort, and it only impacted that one person. If I could take the time that I had to pour into that one person and create content and ways of teaching and strategies and structures and things that I could then give out to the masses, I can use that same time frame, and instead of just impacting one person, I can impact thousands. That's a better use of my time. So for the most part, you are not going to find people who are going to be willing to do one-on-one mentorships. And if you do find those people, you're probably going to have to pay for that. You're going to have to pay for that coaching because you're taking their time and effort away from helping other people and from doing their own work. So finding an author mentor feels like a little bit of a challenge, but it doesn't have to be, because you don't have to have one-on-one oversight from people. Finding a mentor is as easy as finding those people who are educating publicly and watching them. You can look at people who have done the dang thing and reverse engineer their career. If you look at me as somebody who is educating, who is speaking on stages, who is doing articles on all of the big publishing industry things, who is on bestsellers lists and all of those things, and you look at me and you want to recreate my career, you can go back on my social media and do a deep dive and look at the steps I took to get to where I am now. How did I go from an unknown indie author to an incredibly well-known person on TikTok who 7x their book sales, who hit the bestsellers list multiple times, who had the number 774 and 87 best-selling book out of every book in existence on Amazon? How did I do that? Go back to the stage where I was, where you are now. Go back to the beginning. Go back on my Facebook page, go back on my Instagram, and look at what I did. You can watch those steps, and then through the lens of what technology, what information do I have now that she didn't have, how can I apply that to the steps that she took and reverse engineer my entire career? You can follow in my footsteps, do the things that I did without ever having to speak to me, because it's all there. You just have to do the research. You can also go to our pages and see what we're teaching now, because the people at my level are teaching levels down. Most of us are not teaching people on our level. You always want to teach what you've already learned how to do. So I am turning around and helping the people behind me. I'm giving information from where I am now, how I got here, how you can get here, from my experience. I help you through the pitfalls, all of those things, at that lower level that you're at now. So look at what people are teaching. Go to their YouTube pages, go to their social medias, look at what they are teaching. But again, we're only taking advice from qualified sources, people who have done this at least 3 times successfully. We have so many people who just toss a book out into the public, who work with a traditional publisher, and then all of a sudden are giving writing advice. But 1 time can be a fluke. 2 times can be a fluke. 3 times is a pattern of success. So you need to stop listening to people who are brand new in this industry and don't actually know what they're talking about, because it just magically worked for them once or maybe twice. Once they've done it more than 3 times, now we've seen that pattern of success. And we need to stop listening to people who are not actually doing the work. People who are signing their books away to a big name publisher and then did not get that readership themselves. They don't know what they're talking about because they didn't do the work the publisher did. So paying attention to who is doing well and who is doing it really well publicly is a great choice for you to attach yourself to as a mentee. You can go through their podcasts and through their YouTube channels, and you can learn from them. You can learn from being around them. There's this thing called the dust of the master. Back in the day, we had great leaders and educators who would travel around and teach and do all of those things, and their followers would follow so closely behind them that the dust off of their sandals would kick up on them and cover them in a layer of grime. And so when we say the dust of the masters, you're following along to that educator so closely that their success is falling off on you, that you are picking up and soaking in everything that they're doing and implementing it into your strategy so that you can do that too. You can create your own mentorship without ever speaking to that person. I've done that for years in my businesses. I will watch people who are leaders in my different industries, because you guys know I run multiple businesses. I'm in multiple industries. I watch what they do and I pay attention. I get so dang close to them that I know everything that they're doing, everything they're putting out on social media, every move that they're making. I am taking note, I am analyzing it, and I'm seeing how I can implement it into my strategy. And because I have been able to jump over a lot of those hurdles very easily because I know what they went through, how they dealt with it, and I implemented it in what I did as well. So I could skip steps. I could go around those pitfalls. I could jump over the hurdles because I watched them do it before me. So pick some mentors, pick 2, 3, 4 people and watch them so closely you know their every move, and then learn how to implement that into your strategy. And then you can try to reach out to those people. A great way to get in with these people is to say, hey, I have been watching you. I noticed that you did this. I tried it, and this is the success that I had. Thank you for your help. If you can reach out to them and let them know, I'm watching you, I paid attention, and I took action and implemented what you do, and I don't expect anything from you. I recently heard somebody talking about how they would write to these people saying, I got this advice from you. I tried it. Here's my success. No need to respond. I just wanted to let you know. That really gets our attention. If you come to me and say, hey, I've been watching your YouTube channel and I followed X, Y, and Z advice and it worked for me because, and then you don't expect anything from me, you better believe I'm getting back into your inbox. I want to know what you're doing. I want to see how you're growing. I want to see how I can help you. If you are, I can actually actively see you putting in the time, work, and effort without trying to take from me, baby, I will be there to support you a little bit extra. Trust me on that one. I want to see you succeed, but I want to see that you're taking action. I am not going to spend my time and effort on somebody who's floundering on things, who is just going to take from me and suck out my energy and just drain me and then not take action on it. I've had so many people from back in the day, you know, friends, family, people I went to college with, all those things, that just wanted to take, but never actually take any action. They had tons of questions, lots of things that they wanted, but they never put a book out. They never did their marketing properly. They never did the things that I was suggesting that they specifically asked for. I don't help those people anymore. They can watch my YouTube channel if they want. But if you are actively taking action, you are implementing what I'm saying, and you're seeing some success, or maybe you're having some hangups and you have a question, I'm going to be there to answer it. Now, I understand I'm a little bit more than most people in terms of getting back to people as quickly as possible, whether or not I know you, whether or not I see you doing work. If I have the ability to help you in some way, I do my best to do that. And not everybody does it. But if you come to somebody and you say, hey, I followed your advice and this is where I'm at right now. This is the good that came from it. Or I'm not quite sure. Can you just clarify this one thing for me? You're probably going to get a response because they see that you've taken the action and you've taken the time and you've also poured back into them. By going through our YouTube channel, by spending tons of time watching our videos and commenting and engaging and helping our algorithm standing. If you're in my space, if I see you actively commenting on everything, if I see you being engaged and bringing other people in and building up the community, my gosh, I will pour much more into you than I would into just some regular person who pops in for one thing. I always try to respond to people. I always try to give them help and information as much as I can give them. But if I know that you're always on my YouTube channel, always leaving comments, I'm going to leave a more fleshed out piece of information for you than I would for everybody else. They're going to get a paragraph. You're going to get 6 paragraphs. I'm going to do more for you because I see that you've shown up for me and my community. So choose your mentors. Follow along with what they're doing. Watch every piece of content that they put out there. Put it in your schedule to make sure you go check the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube, in case the algorithm doesn't show you. Once a week, go and double check that you didn't miss anything. Consume as much as you can. Ask questions and ask them publicly if possible. If you can leave a question on a YouTube video or a TikTok or an Instagram, that gives us the opportunity to answer you, but to help thousands of other people as well. And then if you want to touch base at some point, you can, and you have a much better opportunity of getting us to respond and engage and help you out with our time for free by making sure that you have been a part of the community and you've actively helped to build us up. By all means, reach out to us. We want to hear from you. But you can create your own mentorships without that person knowing you ever exist. Some of my best mentors have no idea who I am. They've seen me comment on their socials, but we've never met in person. We've never had a one-on-one conversation. It's never been a big deal. It's always been me teaching myself from them. So you can create your own mentorships to really grow and expand and enhance what you're going to be doing as an author. It's really easy to do. You just have to take the time to make the effort. And that's where most people fall short, because they're too lazy to do the work to get the mentors. If you can do it, you can change the game for your career, and you can jump way higher than anybody else that is not doing that work. Okay, drop your questions on this down below. Again, I want to hear from you guys. We want to create a community in the comments down below. So now is the time to start building up these comment sections. When you watch one of my videos, please comment so that we can build each other up and help each other grow, and drop your questions for those upcoming videos. We drop daily videos here to help you navigate the world of being an author, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, to make this your best author year ever with the least amount of stress and overwhelm. We'll see you then.